Hello, hello once again. Welcome and welcome back. My name is Eric. This channel is called Report and Opine. It might be Cinco de Mayo. Maybe it's 4th of July. I don't know. It doesn't matter. And in my last couple of videos, I had some words for Governor Old Catcher's Mitt Face Cuomo and his fake news brother Fredo. I also said that I was going to give it a rest on them, but I just can't let it go because Governor Cuomo's poor handling of this nursing home situation has come to my attention, where he's allowing infected nurses to go work in nursing homes and forcing infected patients to go back into nursing homes, then goes on television every single day, says just the opposite, and starts talking in these political platitudes. Well, we need to protect the vulnerable, and if this saves just one life, it'll be worth it. If you're eager to get back to work, then you should choose an essential job. Meanwhile, he's ripped away the livelihoods of every other healthy New Yorker, but whatever, they weren't essential, doesn't matter. This is just another reason that he is not to be trusted. Then we've got the mayor of New York City, Bill de Blasio, saying that he wants to bring New York back stronger and fairer than it was before. He wants to make it more fair. So what's his plan for that? Hire his corrupt, unaccountable wife to some sort of racial equality recovery team, even though just last year she couldn't account for 850 million taxpayer dollars. If this doesn't reek of socialist corruption, I don't know what does. And then we've got a story about the FBI, right? We now know that they, in fact, set up Michael Flynn to perjure himself so that they could keep their Russia collusion hoax investigation going on far longer than it needed to. And, it's a long tangled web that they weaved. But as I understand it, they basically threatened to arrest his son if he didn't admit to something that he didn't even do. And this is the FBI. They're the people that are supposed to be upholding the law. But not these deep state FBI hacks. This is Clinton country as far as they're concerned. And they just cannot have that big bad orange man around here. He was never supposed to win, right? Then we've got these lockdown protests happening all over the country now, right? It started in Michigan, and it seemed like there was a really strong one out in San Diego, so kudos to those folks for having a backbone. There was a rally to free New York here in City Hall Park in Manhattan, right? It got cut short by King Emperor Cuomo and these unconstitutional deep state cops who don't know anything about the First Amendment, clearly. And if you want to see some of the photos and videos from that, go ahead and check out my Instagram at Report and Opine. You can also see a little bit of pics and video from this phony testing facility right here in Brooklyn. Then we've got this Joe Biden MSNBC meltdown. This man went to talk to Mika Brzezinski, and when she did a little bit of journalism for probably the first time in her life and pressed him on this Tara Reade situation, he completely melted down. And this is MSNBC. That's friendly fire. If you can't take questions from them, then you can't take questions from basically anybody. And I made a handful of videos about how awful Joe Biden was well before this sexual assault allegation. But this is just another reason that the Democratic Party is not to be trusted. It's pure, unadulterated hypocrisy. I mean, they go from all that Me Too, Brett Kavanaugh believed survivor stuff to, there's no corroborating evidence. There's no pattern of behavior except for all the creepy sniffing and touching and all that. But outside of that, Joe's never done anything wrong. But let a Republican, or even just somebody who's not crazy far left, get one inkling of some crazy lady like E. Jean Carroll, they run that nonstop. Then we've got these California doctors who were censored. They went against the mainstream narrative just a little bit. They said, okay, well, we flattened the curve. Maybe it's time to end this lockdown. Maybe this virus isn't quite as bad as we all thought. And they got censored. You can't do that. You can't go against the WHO, even though they lied to us at the beginning. You can't go against the CDC, even though they were wrong at the beginning. If you go against that, you will be taken out. We just cannot have any dissent. Same thing with Candace Owens. She was suspended from Twitter for just saying that people in Michigan should go back to work and that Governor Whitmer was a complete hack. which is all true, and I don't know if she said it in those exact words, but the point remains the same. If you go against the mainstream narrative even a little bit, you will be censored, right? YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, they're now ballooning because, people are stuck at home. It's the new normal. And they're online probably a little bit more than they should be. And as soon as you say something that they don't like, you got to get out of here. Meanwhile, Amazon and Walmart, those are all ballooning because your poor people, little mom and pop small businesses are just not essential. Sorry, guys. And these are from the same people that want to talk about the billionaires and income inequality. But as everything else is shut down, what happens? The rich only get richer. So this needs to end soon. I said that a long time ago. I grew sick of this weeks ago. You can tell it's complete nonsense. It was scary at first, Be aware of your surroundings. Wash your hands thoroughly. Don't touch your face. All that stuff makes sense, and we will continue to do that. But this telling people that it's just not safe to go outside is absolute insanity. And nobody else wants to look at the other side of the coin. All they want to talk about is inflated COVID deaths. And then, of course, you have the CDC sort of retooling their numbers, but that's a completely different story. But nobody wants to talk about the other deaths that are coming from the quarantine. Not from the COVID, but from the quarantine. Nobody wants to talk about that. But until the next one, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening.